All right, we're gonna tie a really cool single station intruder. This is obviously a big profile fly for dirty water conditions. So enjoy the video. I don't have a name for this. It's nothing super new, but yeah, enjoy the video and let us know what you think. Here we go, starting with 50 denier from Vivas. Okay. Dubbing loop in the back, little hot spot. We're gonna use the goods, Eat a Peach. Throw it in there and spin it up. Sometimes I just rub my fingernail through there. Alright, we're going to put some brassy ultra wire. You could use anything. I'm using red here. Whenever I put on a body feather, I generally put on wire just to give it some extra security. Okay. Next up, Mirage Tinsel, Opal Mirage. That's the goods, that's the shine. This is a bright fly, so I'm gonna use some bright stuff. This color combination has been dynamic. Right. Back up onto that a little ways. We're gonna put our body feather on, shrimp pink saddle. Ooh, that's a bigger one. All right, that's all right. Oh, one full wrap, 1, 2, 3, and capture it on 4. Let's see if we can do this. Oh yeah, made in the shade. This color combination has been genuinely amazing this year. You know, we haven't got to fish a whole lot because the rivers have been blown out, but when I have got to, and actually Dylan, our head guide, got a fish to grab this color combo too. A couple times actually. He had the same fish grab it twice. Anyhow, when we've got to fish, this has been a great color. Tied one fly in this color combo already, the big worm, and that fly's been really good. You know, we kind of made that one up, I don't know, a couple days before we tied it. And then this fly I used to fish, I fished it last year, the same basic fly but in dark colors, because I had this black saddle feather that I wanted to use. So sometimes we make up a fly based on the material we have, and that was kind of the case for this fly. I noticed it's a lot like, man, honestly I forget the name of it, but one of Jerry French's flies that's really cool. Man, I feel bad not knowing the name of that, but I don't off the top of my head. It's a really cool fly though, probably one of my favorite looking flies. So, while I did not steal it from him, it is a really neat fly, and there's other guys that tie similar flies. Lots of similar flies. I think it's the Ultra Squid. I don't do composite loops because I hate them. I guess technically this is a composite loop. So we're putting in Fox and Ripple ice fiber. It's this minnow mix. It is incredibly bright. And the Ripple ice fiber is going to act as my flash for the entire fly. So stay tuned. Cut that a little bit. That'll work. Alright, grab your bodkin to move things out of the way. Ooh. When you want to stop it, when you want to stop the loop from spinning, just grip down with your fingers and you can stop it. Kind of sacrificing one little guy of that saddle feather. Ooh, saved it. And then just pick it out as you go. You pick out some of the Ripple ice fiber, it's not a big deal. So yeah, this is about as close to a composite loop as I get. Because I'm pretty convinced, I don't know, I have a hard time with composite loops. I've messed around with them, and I don't know, it just takes so much material. And you pick out a good bit of it, but the amount of time it takes to pick it out correctly, I'm just not sure it's worth the headache, I guess. That's why I sometimes look forward to summer flies. Sometimes they're always fun to tie, but they take time. Just like anything you want to do well, it takes time. So this isn't a fly that this fly I've, been tying, this particular fly I've been tying, well, this is only my second year tying this particular pattern, but yeah, it still takes time to get it right. The amount of material you're going to put in, and then spinning everything right. And
Hey,
John, how are you? Just going to pick this out. So you can see that rippleized fiber is probably a little long, so we can just kind of go through there and just, like your hair cut person, just kind of cut it. Not in an even manner by any means. Alright, next step. Another loop and a pile of Lady Amherst. I'm using white and shrimp pink. Staying with the theme of light and bright. I kind of have to give my buddy John credit with this. He swings flies, and I had tied this fly I think 3 years ago now, that I looked at and I just had no confidence in. It was super light. I mean, ridiculously light. And what am I doing here? And I tied it, and he saw it on my desk. He saw it on my desk, and he said, "What are you doing with that?" And I was like, "Go fish it, man. I'm not ever gonna fish that." I literally said that. I'm never going to fish that color combination. And he went out and fished it, and he said, "I got one of the most hellacious," and this guy catches more fish than anybody I've honestly ever met as far as swinging flies goes. And he goes, "I got one of the most hellacious grabs I've ever gotten." If you know who he is, he's like a ninja. And anyways, he fishes alone, and he got a hellacious grab. And so I'm thinking, if he's saying that, then there's something to that color combo. Sorry, I jacked up my Lady A, so I'm gonna have to start over. And so I went out. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this was 3 years ago. I went out, and basically I just tied one more of those flies because I, again, didn't have much confidence in it. But I was like, I'm going to give it a shot anyhow. And I went out to a river down in Southern Oregon in the winter and just got annihilated. It got hit hard, and then the fish ran really hard, and who knows? That fish may have done that with any fly, but it was just crazy ridiculous how strong the grab was for winter, when you usually, a lot of times you'll get these funky little, almost like a bass eat, just kind of swallow the fly, or just kind of take the fly a little bit and not do much with it, just kind of sit there with it, and you're not even sure if it's a fish or a rock or whatever. These things happen in the winter. So So since then I've been sold. I've been hook, line, and sinker, especially for dirtier water, and that was the application that John and I were fishing, or river condition rather, that we were fishing. So fish it in dirty water. You won't regret it. I try not to be the guy that says, oh, this is the fly. But it's a pretty darn good fly. It's a pretty ridiculously good fly. And you can tie this color combination however you want, whether you want to throw in Lady A or just some super light ostrich or rhea or whatever. You know, I don't know why I'm tying in Lady A, quite frankly, because this thing, Lady A, is a pain in the butt to work with, but just spreading it out as we speak, as I speak, and hopefully I'll be done soon. I cut a little bit off the top there. All right. No. You chill out there, Lady A. There we go. Kind of get it to that point where you can pull on it still a little bit. That's a good place to be. So then you can easily manipulate it. So it's in there nice and secure, but you can still pull it out a little bit, because sometimes what happens with all kinds of material, not just Lady Amherst, is it gets sucked back into the loop a little bit. So just pull it out where you want it. As far as how long you want your material, just, you know, be careful, because it's easy to pull out, and then there we go. Comb it back. I cut these tips just for a little less material on the fly, and that may not matter in the end, but it does to me, so I'm gonna do it. You can't see the tips when you know, when we put all the other material that's gonna go on here. Can't see them, but I like to make flies as easy to cast as possible. And this is a big profile fly with a big, large set of dumbbells. So, and there's a reasonable amount of material on this fly. This is probably more material than what's on most of my flies in general. I mean, that's a lot of Lady A. Lady Amherst looks pretty sweet. You can kind of spread it out. It's still a little bit loose in there as far as where it sets on the actual fly. All right, next step. Horns. 4 of them. This is from an OPST saddle. Obviously this is orange. And these horns are meant to set back a little ways. And they look awesome in the water. They look just ridiculously cool in the water. Out of any material for a steelhead angler fly tire, those horns are a good one to have. I mean, you could put them all around a fly and it may look stupid, but it's gonna swim like a champ. Maybe you're not gonna catch the fisherman, but feel like you'll catch the fish. Tie them down really, really good. Go in there and cut them off. Next step, shrimp pink, marabou. This is a nature spirit marabou, if you're wondering. They make really, really good marabou. Come on. Which, for whatever reason, I'm struggling with. Alright. That is incredibly obnoxious. just the way I like it. Cool. You could stop right here and fish this as an unweighted fly. I am not going to do that. I'm going to fish it as a weighted fly. This is my little bucket fly that I'm going to try to, you know, ride up against the ledges and whatnot. So this is a double pupil dumbbell from Hairline. Just doing a little figure eight action. Okay. Last, but certainly not least, silver pheasant, ready to go in orange. One of my favorite feathers. Just kind of prepping the feather a little bit. Try to get it to round on there nicely. This is a feather that sometimes you have to manipulate. Just kind of. Alright, just tying this guy off. This is another one of those stems, and feathers for that matter, that will come out, so just be super anal about it. And then to kind of get this thing to pop out the way you want it to, just loosen up those fibers with the dubbing brush. Beat it up a little bit. That stem on the silver pheasant is a little bit stiffer stem than what a lot of stems from other feathers are. So so you can kind of, you know, really mess with it, and it'll keep its form pretty good in the water once you get that thing loosened up. And this may not make sense, but once you kind of get it loosened up so it's a little bit more flexible. All right, that's a pretty mean looking fly right there. Really mean looking fly. I think the first time I tied this, that's the word that came to mind. So, all right, just gonna kind of finish this off here. Whip finish real quick. For a fly like this, I'm not sure how long the video is gonna be, but it's long enough to whip finish a couple times. Just gonna move it this way, cut it with my scissors, might cut it a little tiny bit shorter than that. Don't go too short. Burn it with my super weak flame. Put that bad boy on backwards real quick, stretch that burn spot out. Okay. I have been using this stuff in hot pink. I'm not gonna lie, it really doesn't show up hot pink all that well, but it's kind of a cool little accent piece. And I believe this is the same consistency as Flow.
It's a little thicker.
Little thicker, Eli says. I guess he's smarter than me with this stuff, so I'll give it to him. And again, if there's a fly that is just as far as big profile flies go for the winter, that's better than this, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see something that's just, crazy big profile like this. And some people don't like to fish the big profiles, and that's fine, but I've just had a number of times that these big profile flies just get eaten so stinking hard that I've become a believer. And maybe they don't catch every fish. Maybe a fish is intimidated by this and decides to run away from it. But it's worth it for those mega eats. So there you go. Enjoy tying it.